Hi, I'm Laura Powers, and I am the U.S. CEO of RadTech, and I'm all about bringing Agile to the world. I believe that everyone should have the opportunity to bring their whole selves to work and to create change and beauty in the world. And I think that Agile is the best thing that I found in terms of how to make an impact to the world. Or as Steve Jobs used to say, Agile is the way to make a dent in the universe. I believe that we need to do two things. One is to start with the individual and the teams, and to help the teams find ways to work together effectively, which is part the framework of Agile and part the soft part of Agile, because most of our problems really do often come with hair on top. And at the same time, it's working with the leadership of organizations to help shift their ways of thinking and ways of being, because being an effective leader in the 21st century is way different than leading an army in the 18th century. Women in Agile. And so actually, hashtag Women in Agile is a movement that we have started to help promote the participation of women in Agile. And what I'm finding is there's lots of people who are looking to change careers into Agile, and we're looking for ways to help anyone of any walk of life, persuasion, gender, find their place in Agile. This is about inclusion and diversity. And I think that then really is something that helps the business, because that breadth of experience, that breadth of perspective is what often comes together as the aha idea that changes the business and changes the world, frankly. In some ways, we tend to call things different, so there might be some vocabulary differences between Europe and the US in terms of what we call things, but at the end of the day, we're all humans, and the fundamental heartbeat of Agile remains pretty steady around the world. And I think that's really important, because when I work with a client in the US, if I do a good job, the next thing they're saying is, what can you do for me in Dublin and in London and in Shanghai and in Bombay? And so having that consistency and that unity of what we do and how we do is so important around the world. What inspires me? Oh, wow. What inspires me is to work with an organization where there's someone who, quote unquote, doesn't get it, and who, through the journey of their organization transforming and adopting Agile, there's usually a light bulb moment and they understand how things are different. And there was a few years ago a CEO of a company that we were working with, and he had hired our organization to come in and do some Agile work, basically on the request of some of his team. But he really wasn't a believer. And towards the end, we shipped a product far faster and far better than he'd ever had before. And at the same time, his teams were happier and more engaged. And this is a guy in his 50s, salt and pepper hair, wrinkles, he's been there, done that for a long time. And he looked at us with tears in his eyes and he said, "Thank you. You're helping me love my company again." And that inspires me, because there's a lot of times when you work really hard, but when you see somebody who's following their life purpose and seeing things in a new light and it's changing their lives for the better, it makes up for all of the transatlantic flights and the calls at 6 o'clock in the morning and everything else that we do as Agilists. So my mark of an excellent training or an excellent coaching session is to see someone have that light bulb moment where their perspective not only on their work but on their life is different, and they see possibilities when they used to see only impediments. And that's incredible, and it's what keeps me going.